Hello there! Welcome back to Charles Circle, and welcome back to Anno 117. Last time, we tested out our new army. We won a quick victory over here against Lysiama, but the Emperor intervened, unfortunately, forcing us to ceasefire because Lysiama is popular with the Emperor. Fortunately, however, as a consolation prize, we declared another war against Tarragon. The Emperor is less protective of him. As you can see in the reputation overview here, Lysiama, his favorite, Tarragon, less so. Us, as a result of the wars we have been recently fighting, even less so. So fortunately, we're not expecting an intervention in this war, which is still ongoing. We don't have enough troops to really force the issue here and storm the gates quite yet, but he doesn't have enough troops to push us off the island. So we're in a protracted siege right now, and that suits us just fine. So we will chip away at the defenses here while we reinforce the thing we need to do because, well, in at least some small part, I managed to let some of our troops get killed while micromanaging something else off the side of the screen. So let's try to avoid that and go back and backfill the troops that we lost. So we have already some reinforcements starting to load up. A pair of swordsmen and another set of onagers. We will ask our siege workshop to make a third one here. Hopefully 3 sets will be enough to take care of the walls. We have more horsemen being generated here, and our barracks is creating more legionnaires. I think, because we have not replaced any of our archers yet, we probably ought to build a second barracks and queue maybe a couple of those up, but as you can see, that requires more weapons. So we did actually blueprint a couple extra weapons makers in the past. We didn't really need them, although I do believe, let's check, I do believe, in fact we produce enough iron that this should not be an issue. So we will let that all kick into gear here while we try to chip away again at the defenses over here. So let's actually maybe unpause for now, let these folks load up, and we'll come back over here and ask our catapults to chip away at these defenses. Let's, I don't know, just work on some of the walls for now. The other thing we're going to need to do, this is a ship that's in the way. I want to send back, we have one very hurt ship over there. I think we loaded everything up here, more or less, okay. Let's also actually add some of these captains that we put on, or that we purchased last time. Let's see, maybe there's one, here we go, the self-repair one. Not because I want to put on this ship, but because there is that ship over there that could use some self-repair. And let's maybe grab the remaining actual captains. Now let's assign that one to this one, right? Why not? And then transport, let's see. The rest of these are, okay, so we'll transport. Actually, why transport? Let's just straight up assign to these 2 ships for us. So over here, we'll ask this one to be the meticulous aimer ship, I suppose. This one I would like to put onto one of our trading ships because that province transfer speed of 20% is pretty big for those long distance trade routes, as is the wind angle as well. Although of course that is helpful for a military ship too. But let's see. Now, why would this not Ah, because this is a tower, not a captain. Never mind. All right, cool. Ignore me. We're going to leave the rest of those as they are then. So let's send these ships first to go take care of this ship of Tarragons, and then to come join us over here. In fact, I suppose we can send some additional reinforcements here, too. So we'll keep chipping away. The other thing I wanted to explore, I haven't messed with these yet. I was complaining about last episode, the troop sort of behavior. And it's a very fair thing to acknowledge that there are stances in this game, and I have sort of ignored them to this point. We should at least test them. I read this as abandoning commands or not, which is, you know, not something you want them to do, I wouldn't think. But let's put them on aggressive. Not these folks, but let's see if this will get them to at least pick a new target when their existing target is destroyed. What I don't want is for them to wander off, right? Nobody wants that. That's bad. But I had the same concern with the archers. If the archers don't have an explicit target, they are sort of ignored. And that's not what we want. All right. Let's see. Maybe we'll get something useful. Probably not, though. Porridge. Whatever. No problem. Let's all come back here, and we'll unload our new troops. Another thing to point out is, as of this morning, we're actually playing on version 1.3. It purportedly fixed a few of the bugs that we've noticed along the way. I think I've mentioned a few times before if you blueprint something in a mountain or river slot and then try to upgrade it, I wasn't able to. So I would have to delete the blueprint and then place in non-blueprint mode, and that worked fine, but it was odd. And that does seem to be in the patch notes, along with a couple other things. So we'll see if we notice a difference there. I'm happy to hear it wasn't just me, and that I'm not crazy. But the other one that we did notice, I think last time specifically, was there's one in the patch notes about rival shipyards spawning ships after being destroyed. We absolutely saw that last time, which was also, I would say, a little irritating. So nice that that is also apparently resolved. So there's definitely, I would say, there's a few others. There's the repair all ruins bug that I was also noticing, and a few other apparently improvements around military unit behavior, and some generally expected, additional polish and optimization. So we're happy to see all of that. These are things to be expected around launch and not the end of the world. If you need a little bit of polish post-launch these days, that is I would say, a pretty normal thing. So definitely noticeable, but good to see it sorted out relatively quickly. Unfortunately, I think I just saw that the Emperor demanded peace, but I don't seem to see. Let's see. I don't see a way to make it. I mean, I know I can go in here, but it does not seem that the Emperor has given us, like, a conversation. Is that what this was? The Emperor demands peace. Okay, but it is not actionable. Well, until I get a pop-up for it, I'm not going to bother. Let's see if we can't maybe force the issue a little bit then, if that is a threat to occur, and chip away at some of these defenses. Maybe bring these folks up a little bit. Yeah, see, this is not what I want. These folks have now ignored my commands, right? Because they found another thing to do, and that is not what we want. So the stances don't quite do what I want them to do. I don't want them to abandon what I tell them to do. I just want them to do something. If they're sitting there doing nothing, and there's a valid thing to do, if that makes sense. I think the biggest use case issue I have personally is archers choosing not to pick a new target, despite the fact that there are several in range. Like, that is very irritating, of course. As is, finally, I think, our actionable request from the Emperor. We could also ignore it. I don't think we necessarily want to fight the Emperor, but it's a possibility. I don't know that we necessarily would have to right away either. So what happens here? Oh, this is a request for the Emperor, not a demand for peace. Oh, and absolutely we will do this, because a +10 swing in reputation is great, and in fact +15, considering that declining it would give us -5. Okay, that's wonderful, and in fact we will divert then this set of onagers here, and then send this fellow to, where was it? Over here, sure. Get on over there. Okay, that's brilliant. Now, of course, we'll want to backfill that ourselves. We still want a third onager for our purposes, but we'll take that. That's great. And while we're at it, do we have another spare ship here for these reinforcements? Not quite. That's okay. We can send... someone here had some flotsam, right? Well, I guess we want someone with more, or at least 2 ships, with more troop slots. Maybe it's our flagship. Come on back. And hey, let me know when you get there. Alright, so we do seem to be chipping away here. Very good. That'll be our flagship arriving. Let's get these folks in here. Oh, and then, of course, now that we have the weapons, hopefully, let's get 4 sets of archers in here as well. And why not? Another cavalry would be great. We already backfilled the extra onager, correct? Yes. I think we probably will need to upgrade a couple troops, or a couple Libertus to plebes to backfill those troops, rather. So just grab a quick block there, and there it goes. All the Libertus are gone. I think that was not because we upgraded, but because all of those unit queues updated. I do want to tidy this all up. It is not how I want it to look, but I'm distracted, I guess, right now with this war, which I think is a fine thing to be. Although, certainly, we will be able to improve the efficiency of all of this, not to mention the aesthetics. I want the layout to actually reflect this sort of octagon pattern here that we've got going. But I mostly want to make sure that we try to win this war real quick before the Emperor does actually enforce peace here. We'll be very annoyed if that happens again. And, you know, it might. It might. We're still learning how this is going to work, so... Once we have more reinforcements, we should think about rotating back, actually, these hurt units, and try to get them healed up, I guess. Conveniently, this self-repair captain, who, by the way, we can rotate around if we really want, is healing up the ships out at the actual battlefield so that we don't have to worry too much about rotating our ships back, which is great. Milestone. We are cruising along in the series tree. I think this is our usual irritating notification that when something is empty. Yeah, that's okay. We should probably fix all of our productions, but I just want to focus down this military part first. Is our flagship back yet? Where does our flagship actually? Here it is. Oh yeah, no, of course it's not. I guess we didn't tell it to make its way back over. Well, that makes sense. But, very good. Please keep chipping away here at the archer towers. May break truce or something? May break a treaty. Or declare war. Well, bring it, I suppose. Why would this have sent us to Albion? That is not where we were. Yeah, okay, so clicking on this cycles through all of the possible places you can send. There we go. This is the place we actually wanted to send. Brilliant, and he likes us now, which is great. Okay. Hey, while we're here, any good items? Let's see. Ooh, legendary. Not that we can afford this, but... Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, it would take forever to pay itself back. But you'd love to fall into this. +2 income and some prestige. Pretty good. This is the one that I keep falling for being a ship captain, but is actually for towers. And this is our... Oh no, this is a slightly different one. It gives additional bonus hit points, but no healing. The damage slowdown is what comes off there. Shrug. This actually could be helpful for a trader. Not a huge thing, but directionally helpful and basically free at this point, so we'll grab it. And sure, why not? Also basically free. So if we have the cash for it, might as well, right? I'll do the same thing here. This one is... So this one, right, movement speed and angle, this is about moving faster. I would put this on a trade ship. And this, damage slowdown and hit points on a warship. Although apparently I can't swap them out because I don't have a, free space to do that. Let's just come back home, unload the others, and adjust accordingly. But come on back. Let me know when you're there. Let's get back to the siege. So this archer tower going down will be big. Not that it'll allow us to charge the villa quite yet, but it'll allow us to push in and do some damage in here, I suppose. Because, oh, actually, you know what? If we can just do this from range, that's better. I don't want to have to chip away at these gates if we don't have to anyway. I think, I'm not certain about this, I think all we have to do to win this war is to chip away at the villa. Which means maybe we didn't even need to do this if we had this range. Although I think we probably would have been in range of that tower. So, I think it was still worth doing.
A new unit has been recruited.
We might as well get our units here. There we go. Achievement, Hall of Fame, whatever. We have destroyed the villa. Tarragon de Londa Est. Neat. All right, so what now? We've won. How does this go? Now that we've won. Have we won? Am I wrong? I guess maybe not. Maybe we do have to continue to pursue here.
A new unit has been
So
recruited.
let's do that, I suppose, until we have another option. What is this? A festival can be hosted.
Await your instructions.
Hygiene festival. Yeah, great. I think we'll provide the olive oil, which we have in massive surplus. This festival, this Hygiea festival, is pretty great. +1 income on every building on the island, not just residents, building. That's super powerful in and of itself. That's what I was just fawning over that legendary specialist could do. Of course, that can do it indefinitely. This is only 4 hours. But in addition to a very strong boost for 4 hours on income, it does the same thing with knowledge. It's pretty crazy. And we get ourselves a nice little specialist. This is the festival I didn't want to cancel when we won our first war and could overwrite that festival with a pretty decent follow-up, like victory festival. But it's just better. It's just a very strong festival, that Hygiea festival. I like it a lot. So we will certainly keep an eye on that. I think we're generating that, right, from having additional health. Is that right? Yeah, it is. So that's pretty powerful. You know, I suppose we could crank up some of these other ones and see if we could evaluate those other festivals, but that's a pretty strong effect. So something to be keeping in mind. I think that's the one that I've most noticed. I suppose we should, you know what, we'll send these guys back. We've got enough troops here, I think, to defend the rest of the way. Just going to use our flagship, more or less, to ferry folks back and forth actively. Oh yeah, I think I ignored a notification about this. We should probably give ourselves, a city watch around here somewhere. That's what I mean about needing to optimize. We are definitely not providing anywhere near enough of the social services in this area. We could add, let's see, watchtowers, right? We know are helpful. Call it one there, just to sort of get this into an acceptable holding pattern until we can do something proper about it. Hopefully that's helpful. So it is now. Okay, so I think this is one of the things they fixed. It's J to go to your ruins, and then it should be Shift J. No? Or J Shift U? Well, at any rate, there is a shortcut to automatically repair all ruins in here somewhere. Some combination of those buttons. I'll figure it out some other time, rather than make you watch me do it. Perfect. You know what, in the meanwhile, why don't you keep burning down these walls? Something to do, I suppose. A structure is under attack. That feels like we are getting harassed. Yeah, by a single boat. Not an issue. Oh, that is not a single boat. That is an entire legionnaire. Okay. What do we need to do here? Let's react. Well, rather than freaking out and pulling our troops, which is presumably what he wanted us to do, our trading post has its own catapult and apparently can hit troops, not just ships, which that's great. The other thing we can do is actually place a villa on this island, something we really ought to really be doing. I think everywhere we have an island, you should probably have a villa. Construction area under attack. And I wonder, can I put it further out? No. So that's not ideal. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to learn a lesson. Hygeia Festival here too, that's great. I'm going to learn a lesson and put a villa here, at least. I think the binary placement of having it here is more important. But here you can see, right, we have Garrison that we can actually activate now, but the binary placement of it on the island at all is better than the worrying about the exact, optimization here, especially because we don't have any specialists quite yet. So all we're really adding is some prestige. So yeah, so this is a botch on our end. Let's see how it goes. I'm wondering, can we place, for example, a barracks here? Because I would totally just create some archers. Nope, area under attack. This is good. We should be punished for not doing this properly, right? So I like that they don't let us bail it out like that. That said, the other thing we could probably do would be to just send a couple boats up that way, because he'll probably, if he's going to do any damage, be within the range of the ocean. So we should be able to, hopefully. Here we go. Let's send these. And then fill this with this one, right? Sure. But let's send him over here. As long as these guys are within range there, he should be able to help out. And we have a bunch of boats over here not doing anything. You actually should probably just go back here and unload with the flotsam you've picked up. Let's send these two who have better range too, just in case. Get up there and take care of that. Whoopsie. Not an issue though. Smart of him to try to raid and distract us. But yeah, not happening. Hopefully. I don't see him as about to conquer our island. I think that this defense is going to hold.
The sea soaks up every kind of bloom.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing damage, don't get me wrong. It's a good raid, but... Oh no, our firefighting building is the one that's on fire. That is an issue. And there they go. They're gone. We didn't even really need to send the boats over. Now that we're not under attack anymore, do you think we can place the villa? I think we can. So we should. We certainly should. Place it here, although it's not showing that we'll do anything because it needs to be connected to a road, but now it should have an area effect, and it does. And they'll run away into the woods. Very good. They're done. Okay, but we remembered to do that here. I think maybe, just for the sake of completeness, I'm pretty sure we have a villa in Morgar, our first island over here. But I think we should probably get one over here as well, just to be safe. There it is. Okay, back to the siege though, because we don't want his distraction to keep us from finishing this off. Oh no, whoops, these, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. These are supposed to go back, right, to heal up. Load up these, my goodness. Okay, there's a few. Let's go ahead and get them sent back over as well. I'd say let's prioritize the siege, and why not round it out with some cavalry. So that'll be him full. Come on, back across. And when the flagship gets back, we'll rotate and bring the remaining archers. So I wonder what we need to trigger here for him to surrender. I think it's probably just keep chipping away at all the defenses. Has to be. So if that's the case, we'll keep going at these towers. He's got troops over here. I've got my eye on him. He doesn't seem willing to do much with it. Which is probably right. It would be suicide to throw them. They serve a better purpose simply by existing right now. The festival can be hosted in Bononia. Yeah, but this will overwrite the good festival that we want to prioritize, I think, right? Can we do both? Or was the Hygeia festival on a different island? Probably. I think that must be what happened. We'll take it. Bakeries, vintners, breweries, sure. Got the porridge. I think we even picked up a whole bunch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that must be what happened, because I think I saw, is it on Alba Luna that we have a festival? No, it's out here. Apricus, we have a Hygeia festival out here. Yep, 100%, that's what happened. All right, so not as powerful on this island, but certainly still a powerful thing in general. So, happy to see that. That means I think there is sandals. Well, I mean, why not? It's not doing us any good sitting there.
Let's get started then.
So have some more health. Neat. Over here, though, we have a few extra specialists, I think, at this point. Custodes. Interesting. Okay, so more patrols and a knowledge effect was interesting. I don't know if that's hugely impactful, but we'll take it. let's get our injured troops out. Come on now. Out you go. And our reinforcements loaded up. Let's get these folks camping so that they can heal. And then when they're ready, we'll send them back too. Let's see, where to push next? Probably out here's where most of the defenses are. There's still some out this way. I don't know if we'll have to do every single one. If we don't, it would be better to just push in this direction then. So let's get these units out here. I might even say it makes sense to... You guys can't reach this, can you? If you can, that's great. If not, we're going to send you over here too, because why do we care about this beach anymore?
Under attack.
Troops under attack. From
Under attack.
these gates, I suppose. Alright, well, whatever it is, I don't want you off by yourself, so let's get these folks this way. I think it might just be these troops that are in the way here. This is where I would like to have those archers, because archers... There we go. Archers can push these guys away. Let me know when you're here. Playing it safe. I don't want to lose more troops here than we need to. Archers would be great to fight over this wall, wouldn't they? Good news. I would love to, like, eject all. That would be a good button to have
Under
here.
attack.
At any rate, this'll do. Okay, see, our ships have chosen a new target after destroying that tower. I don't understand why our archers wouldn't do the same thing, you know? And only one of these is bothering to fire right now, right? Also odd. And you've chosen not to fire. I don't understand that either. Okay. So be it. Yeah, I don't know. I very much like that there is land combat in this. I think that the unit control is just not where you want it to be quite yet, in my personal opinion. I swear I had more siege around here somewhere, didn't I? I did. It's in this boat. There we go. Makes sense. Due to... What do we have these on? Control Group 4? Great. Let's get them onto that tower, and these horses over here with the others. Perfect. I do kind of think you're damaged now. Maybe we can move that self-repair captain over. Is that you? It is. Too far away? Well, we can fix that. Perfect. And the nice thing is, of course, he takes a while, but if we manage to not take too much damage collectively out here, we can just kind of have that guy rotate through whichever ship happened to take a little bit of damage most recently. And again, this guy has now completely stopped because the thing I told him to destroy is destroyed. Fine. What's going on over here? Another one of these, huh? You guys chase the boat. We will take Tarragon units in a second, but I don't want to... like, it's a problem that he has the ability to do this at all. We can solve that quickly by taking care of that boat. Oh, hey, and look at that. See, now that we actually have a villa here, we also have the garrison units to take care of the invasion. Wow, actually, the ships did a pretty decent chunk of damage there. Yeah, alright, ships do a lot of work. Very good. Okay.
One of our troops is under attack.
Well, that should take care of that. How are we doing back here? Keep working on that gate, please. This is definitely getting better, and I don't think we're going to have to take every single defense in order to provoke a surrender here. So I think definitely have to knock over this one, maybe also this one, and then we'll be okay. Let's see. Ooh, they did manage to do some damage here. It's annoying.
Sparta, it's the governor.
All good, though.
Waiting for your decree.
I think we can afford to leave a couple of these ships here.
Attack.
You're under attack, what, from the archer tower itself? Maybe that gate? Looks like not this gate, but perhaps the archer tower? Unclear. Unclear.
I've got a bigger sling.
Well, those guys jammed in there pretty tight on top of the gate there. I like how it does, like, splash damage. Not super accurate. They're kind of flinging big rocks, right? Makes sense. And then, alright, let's at least wander over this way. And if we do have to knock it over, we will.
Prepare for anything.
But that's the last set of defenses on the island that I can see, so I think that should force a surrender here. This isn't his only island, so I don't know if that'll be a war surrender or just a conquest of this island, or let's find out. Let's see what this actually forces here. Maybe that's a good point, actually. Should we send over some boats just to kind of clean this up? I suppose we have a pretty idle, you know, navy, really. Let's send you over here. See what happens when we knock over these last couple towers one way or another. That looks like a new icon. Oh, did we actually have to physically walk into and capture the villa instead? Okay, well that would make some sense. Or at least explain why
One of our troops
it wasn't
is
working.
under attack.
Yeah, seems like it. Alright, so there's some capture the flag we have to do here. Okay. I have no idea. What would we even do with this island? I mean, you know, it's got value, of course. What's on this island?
Were I not in my senescence and having as
Interesting.
appetite for battle as a burrowed
Okay.
beetle.
Well, this, I think, explains,
I need
or gives me the answer.
follow orders to the letter.
He demands peace finally. Fine. Okay, let's wrap this up first then. Do we want to burn it down, spend reputation, which we don't have, or vassalize it? Let's vassalize it. I wonder what that looks like. Haven't seen that before.
Under attack.
Yes. So, vassalizing an island, I guess. Nope, this is our home island. Jeez. Over here. Vassalizing an island. What does that do? I guess we'll have to make peace here to see first, but... Oh, it hasn't actually... You vassalized it? Oh, okay, so we can change this. Interesting. Or is that a loading bar after which we cannot change it? Well, at any rate, let's make peace. I definitely don't want to spend 30 reputation to chase down his crappy non-main island. So we'll take peace here. And let's sift through the rubble and see what it is that
Spoonful of trouble.
we need to do afterwards to sort of make use of our conquest. It's a mess. We knocked over a whole bunch of stuff. It's still an asset, don't get me wrong. It's an island that we can't actually look at directly. Interesting. It's not part of our islands yet. We might just have to let this load. I honestly don't know. Not sure what this little icon means. Can we click on our big pile of troops?
I've got a
Which I
bigger
think let's just
sling.
send here. Any other way, we don't need them on this island anymore. He's offering us a whole bunch of please don't attack me treaties. Yeah, as I said, I don't really care to fight over this island.
Necum's finest. Ready.
And these are all warships, correct? Yeah, including our flagship. So let's bring the fleet home. And then over here, we will bring our troops out. I don't think we care for that or this right now. Let's see. And a festival can be hosted. This, I think, would be our victory festival again. Yep. This is great if you need to rebuild your military or whatever, but since we don't, because we kind of crushed and reinforced our military in order to get here, I don't know that we necessarily need this, but at the same time, yeah, so this will shortcut Cerealia. Well, that's different than Hygienia, but I think we still kind of want that. Does it show us here specifically the festival impact? Not seeing it anywhere. I would love to know exactly how much money we'd be giving up, right? Like how much money are we generating here? It's hard to, I can't toggle it, right? But I mean, we have bakers most places, so I think we're making decent money on that. And we'd only make money in the sense of discounted troops, which we don't really need to make right now. Of course, we would get a specialist. That's the other piece to consider here. But I don't think we're going to bother. I think we'll let this one run its course. All right, but over here again, Uxoriosum. Let's see what's going on here. Do we have to, like, is this going to repair itself eventually? What's going on here? Curious what to expect. And haven't really been given much information here by the game, unfortunately. By the way, yeah, so you are healing up. We have like a decently sized military at this point. It might make sense to actually camp all of our troops in a single location that isn't this front area, because the maintenance is reduced when we camp them, right? So minus 100, minus 6, minus 44, minus 200, minus 6, minus 44. So it's just cash, but it is cash. And adding up over the course of an entire army, I think that could end up being decently significant. Wait, hang on. This is different. This is an Alba Luna. Income, prestige, yes, we will do this. And this has given us another specialist who does what? More happiness. Sure.
Governor,
All right. Hilaria, Festival of Joy. Sure. Can we unring the bell here? There we go. Don't need them out.
We stand waiting.
And these two... Yeah, I suppose these two can probably come back as well.
Festina Lente.
Can we load up here, folks? Get the cavalry on that one.
Waiting for your decree.
Gather arrows.
I have deals to close.
Ships full. Ships full.
Since you've chosen to get in my way, let me make this brief. Hand over my property.
On back here.
I'll see you're paid. You can go back to business as
Are
usual.
you threatening me?
You won't like the
It's
alternative.
cute.
Neptune's finest. Ready.
Alright, let's... All of our fully healed navy, I want to pull over this direction, because I have kind of an idea. Yeah, and we'll do more of these.
We stand
Why not?
waiting. Mariners, forward.
Oh wow, so we're starting to get kind of a backlog on
Festina
traders here. We could think about a trading pier or an upgrade here. I think maybe what we want to do is... Do we have one of these yet? Maybe not. Is there a... Yeah, depot. There we go. I want to grab that. And the same thing for warehouses generally as well, but I think we'll come back pro domo and encampment errands, but this will take literally 57 seconds, it said, so we'll prioritize that in the meanwhile. Pro domo, and what was it that we had before or after? Encampments. Yeah, okay, so this is a further decrease in maintenance costs when encamped, which is pretty great. So we'll do that.
Waiting for your decree.
You are a fully healed navy. So you, and then we should get you. And you off. You're out. Same thing with the horsies.
Neptune's finest. Ready.
Very good. We'll need to keep pulling these folks out of here.
Mandate captate.
Knocks on.
And I don't know. You guys getting that one? Okay, you come back. I'm tired of waiting, so flagship and one other just to be safe. No, flagship is sufficient. Come over here,
As do we.
and you 4 units come over here to load up. Obviously, wait, hang on. We scuttled his convoy, rescued all the captives aboard from being sold off, and he demands that we return his lost property. To sweeten the deal, he offers a fairly sizable sum of denarii, though he no doubt plans to make much more on the sale of slaves. He has no particular power over you besides the financial, however, you had no obligation to do business with him. Is this from the quest that's been sitting unable to be handed in for ages now? We picked up some, I think it is. Well, we don't need the cash, and you never know, maybe something good will come from this. Okay. Did that? It did. It wrapped up the old quest book. Okay, so in case you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, we did some chase quest where we sank a couple of his triremes and brought back some captives, rescued them, brought them back to one of our trading posts in order to turn it in. They were in the form of one of these specialists, and it just was sitting here in our trading post for, I don't know, probably 2 episodes now. It just been sitting here in our quest book, and for whatever reason, now, finally, we've gotten it to trigger. Okay, it's done. Don't really know what to do with that, but okay, great. Well, we'll take it. I guess we'll take it. Alright. Why are you... Okay, you're escorting. I guess that's not quite what I wanted you to do, but that's fine. And then, finally, here we are. This should be the last of our troops exiting our vassalized city. So, what on earth do we get from a vassalized city? Like, I was expecting that the AI would control this city, but that we would get some fraction of their income and or support in wars. But apparently remain in its current state means that it won't repair itself or do anything, which is obviously useless. This looks like a loading bar.
In your city.
I just don't know what to make of that. Okay, let's come back to that in a second, because if that's the case, we're just going to take over the island and fix it ourselves. Rather odd, but fine. We see there's a fire here. I swear we put together fire safety already, didn't we? Yeah, we've got tons of it. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Probably, right? We'll come back to it. It'll be a charred landscape, but that's okay. Okay. Well, whatever it is not explained well and seemingly useless. I don't care to raise it. That's a waste. I think we're going to spend the money, which all things considered is not the end of the world, to take over this island. Keep and clear, which is essentially raise, but you keep the villa and the trading post, or keep everything as it is. I don't know why we would destroy it. Even if we wanted to rebuild it in our own vision, like, why wouldn't you start with something that's functional? So, here we are. And look how... Wow. Look how messed up it is. Which, yeah, tracks, obviously. Okay, but we have a whole bunch.
That way.
Oh yeah, no, he's not mad at me for taking over his island. He's mad at me because I've
There is
left
a
his
shortage of
island a
workforce in one of your cities.
fire safety hellscape. Sure.
There is a
Now,
shortage
this is
of
where I
workforce
want
in one of your cities.
the repair all. So let's see. Yeah. Great. All right. Well, let's just run around and repair all this stuff, huh? I think what we'll do is maybe quickly take stock of the island's value to us and then decide how we want to rebuild it from there. Let's do that, right? This is a good moment to sort of reflect. The first is, what does it have on it? Any fertilities we don't already have? The answer to that is kind of no. Do we have flax? We might not have flax. Is that new to us? No, we have flax. We have everything. The only thing it doesn't have, or that has that we don't have, right, is proper mackerel population. Although we have the research for 50% fertility on all of our islands. So this doesn't add too much to us, except for the fact that these folks all pay taxes. We could also take a peek at its productions. So if we look at the consumer goods, well, everything's borked right now because everything needs repaired. I think what I'll say is we should start here. And just buy whatever we need to slowly repair this over time. Because we'll need to add a bunch of Libertus. And yeah, I think once we do that, we might end up with some net surplus. I'm just generally thinking, like, it's already built, you know? Isn't that helpful? Wouldn't that be sufficient, right? To be of some value to us. I think what we could do, since we do get refunds, right? Couldn't we say, yeah, so what do we not need on this island? We could demolish it, get the wood that we need, for example.
There's no warehouse.
This is a waste because there's no warehouse in range anyway. Yeah, So let's do that. We don't need a barracks. We have a barracks at home. What else can we... What else is superfluous here now? Because we already, you know, supply the infrastructure elsewhere. I think this second layer of walls is kind of a waste in a lot of ways. I don't think we really need, shall we say, the inner set of walls. Yeah, let's do that. Like, who is going to invade this, and how much do we care that we need a second set of walls? It's not like it did much good for him when we were knocking on the door with enough siege. So I personally am not going to build double walls. Don't see a lot of strategic value in that, so go ahead and clean this up. Not that it's a huge issue, I just don't feel like dealing with the micro of ferrying over a bunch of rebuilding materials.
May I suggest some refreshments?
Thanks, Ben. Alright. So, now having done that, hopefully there's enough here. Perfect. To repair. That's a big one. And then we need to figure out some... Well, let's go back... Shoot, that was the shipyard. I actually don't care about that. I wanted the trade post. Is this the trade post? It is. This was already here. Oh well, so be it. The construction parts, I think we're going to make sure to purchase up to... Wow, this guy's got a lot of storage here. A lot more than we did. Let's say then we'll buy up to 200. Yeah, let's just do that. On all of these, I would say. And we'll do maintain storage in case... I honestly haven't even taken a proper peek at the productions here. But I'm assuming, just do 100 for marble, I'm assuming that we do have some construction material productions on this island, so if we do have excess, we can sell it. I just want to make sure that we have what we need to repair in the short term, because this is going to take care of itself if we repair everything and let the various goods tick up, right? He presumably had a functioning island before we rolled in and destroyed it, but all the buildings are still there, and so when we rebuild it, it should be okay.
It's not too much of a stretch.
That's okay. And we don't have a patron god here. You want to keep going after series? If we look at our global devotion, we've already hit max there. Oh, he didn't have more storage. We finally just hit the max devotion for series, and now we have 300 tons additional on all of our islands, including the first one we happen to look at, which is the one we just conquered. So, what should we pick this one to be? Maybe we should pick a different one, huh? If we look at this island, what is its deal? It could be a garum export situation. It could make sardines for us. It has proper fertility. It would be the best place to make it of the islands we do have. New ships, more durable, and have reduced upkeep. Pretty cool. Mars, charcoal, armor, sandals, weapons. This place does have good iron fertility. We haven't yet discovered the Cult of Minerva or Mercury Lugus, but we do have Epona, which would give us a whole bunch of herd productions. Okay. And production buildings provide additional population. You know what? This is the one we have researched. Let's give it a shot, right? I have no idea how helpful any of this is going to end up being, but this has me curious, especially because as I look around, what are we missing? Well, workforce. So that could be helpful. I also see this as being potentially helpful, right? We have a lot of sheep here. We have a lot of pigs here. If I look at what this island happens to already be producing, it's not a bad thing. And maybe now that the workforce is trickling in, we should think about our workforce boosters. So We can put 2 shrines on here at least. We don't have the concrete quite yet, but that could be helpful to do. What other needs do you have that you're not getting? Let's see.
There are signs of public unrest.
We have City Watch there too, I think. So these repairs are all happening. Where else do we have ruins here? Nope. Okay, I pressed the ruins button and it seems that the closest ruins is out here in Morgar anyway. No problem. We do have custodies, no? Maybe? Maybe not. Maybe not. Whoops.
Construction of
Okay,
ship
so
has
let's do
finished.
that. I think we'll also buy concrete here too, actually. Because I want to get these roads upgraded for the better service range. But I do kind of want to finish getting this island integrated here before we push too far anywhere else. We could, what else could we do? There's fire safety issues here, there's health issues here. So let's do a quick glance at the various service buildings that we could place. Seems the AI did not do an incredible job of that. So, sure, here's one. Maybe here's one in this industry area. It's very funny, apparently, he places an exceedingly high diplomatic value on whether or not we maintain high fire safety, and he does a pretty terrible job of it himself, it seems. How about some wells? That would be the other thing that is rather helpful to have here. Maybe, are these decorations? They must be, it's not letting me place. Well, so be it. How about that? And there, and here. Sure. I'm kind of past worrying too much about precise placement here. We'll make our islands pretty, maybe come back and do this eventually, but I mostly just want this to be a net positive for us so we can focus elsewhere. Hopefully that helps, but my goodness, there is still quite a bit of work to be done there. Same with the, let's say, latrines. Here, here, here. Hey, Shrine of Opponent unlocked. Neat. How interesting. I see. Okay, so I wonder if these are non-overlapping. Like, do we have 6 of each or 6 total? One way to find out, which is to place it. All right, I kind of hate your decorations here, Tarragon. I'm sorry. They are in my way. Quite frankly, a little bit disheveled. And that's fine. Taste is subjective, but not how I would do it. Oh my gosh. When you click and drag, it only does other things that are the same type as that starting square. And because his MO seems to be 6 different types in 6 different squares, when I do this, I get the 2 purple ones. And when I do this, I get the white one and nothing else because that's the only one he's got. The same thing here. So I almost have to go in and do it one at a time, which is a little obnoxious, but so be it. All right, so if I do this, 1 out of 6, 1 out of 6. So it's non-overlapping, but it does seem like the same buildings can get both, right? which is interesting. So a highly leveled, like downtown area with a bunch of upgraded,
You can hear
like
all
patricians,
they teach boys at the
with a
Dramaticus from streets
very
away.
like a polytheistic approach, could maximize your benefits there, right? If you have 6 different islands with 6 different goddesses that all allow you to build a different shrine, if you put them all on the same island in the center around your most highly stacked up, most valuable population, you can get the most out of each of these. Because +1 population is much more valuable if it's +1 patrician than if it's +1 libertus. Not that we're going to micro it that much, but that is, I think, the min-max way to think about that. So we'll at least do that here. Not that it matters too much. Oh, we don't have the concrete. That's okay. But we are getting the health away from the red levels, which is good. Keep doing that for a minute. About more latrines. We've got latrines now most places. Now we've got them here. Here. Yeah, the way he's laid this out is not very compact and convenient for area of effect, but I'm not going to bother with all the work required to fix that, essentially. Fire safety. Where else do we need some? Here, I suppose. All right, I think we're in a decent place with this. I mean, we really ought to be at this point. It's kind of wild that this is still such a bad number. City status. Okay, so it's just the fact that it's a large city that is our biggest contributor to fire safety. Yeah, minus 3.4 per residence. Okay. Well, it is what it is. Guess we can do a little bit out here. I think that'll do. It's also crushing our Libertus workforce. Let's go back and take a peek. What do they need here that they don't have? We can get sardines in here. I think we're actually at the point now where it's fair to say that their productions are what they're going to be. So if they have, at least until we get the workforce properly settled, if we don't have any sardines, yeah, it seems like maybe we, I don't know, destroyed those all during the invasion or something. So probably worth replacing that. So let's get, what do you think? I think 4 of these should do for now. Grab a warehouse just to make it efficient. And does that help, or will it once they are upgraded? I think. Let's see. And we don't have porridge here either. We have 7 of these on the island. We have no oat farms, or at least no oat farms functioning. Do we need to like strategically pause some Libertus usage? Military buildings, production buildings, city watch. Or we could just downgrade a bunch of plebes. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that real quick. All right, this is starting to tick back up, which is good. We will, of course, ignore him. Festival can be hosted Epinalia, Prestige, sweet. Let's do it. Random specialist. That's another thing that could be helpful here. Aqueduct basins. Oh, this guy again. Nice. Good to get one of those. Not that we really need it right now. We could set up an aqueduct in here with this mountain slot. That would be potentially helpful. It would be good for the fire safety here too. But I think what we're trying to do right now is get this island up to sort of minimum viable, and we'll come back and optimize it later. So then we'll consider it integrated into our empire, and as long as it's generating a net profit for us, we will be fine with that.
My cabbages.
So you can see our our residences are kind of toggling here. All right, military buildings. Could we pause, perhaps, all of our gates? Is that a thing we can do? Pause production. Trying to think. Actually, you know what? We don't need this dumb wall here for all the good it did them while we were invading. I would say same thing with these towers. That should help with a little bit on the Libertas workforce as well. Plus, I guess, some cash and maintenance back. Sort of rationalizing the defense of this island. Great. Progress. Bunch of soap makers without any lavender. He must have been shipping it in from somewhere else, but this is a waste. Until then, so shift, click to pause all of those building types. And what else can we do on that front? All right, so now that we actually have the Libertas to you know, like, produce all the things, which is good because that was a weird catch-22 we were dealing with. Nope. So now we should actually have all the production we need on the sardines front, for example. Nope, not quite. One short still, but that's all right. We can fix that.
Glory, honor, my undying friendship.
So that should be good. And everyone wants to be buddies now, huh? And then how are we on? Do we have some concrete? Okay.
Perhaps this way we shall remain on good.
I think well, the aqueduct will be a whole thing to set up because we'll have to snake it through. It does take a lot of concrete. Probably pause on that for now. But this ticking up is good. So let's start from the bottom and work our way up on the productions here. Good. There is now totally enough porridge, which is good. I think we're okay on bread. I don't think they were supplying garum. It looks like we're spinning up the tunics as well. Hats. Soap, we just said they don't have what they need for here. Amphora and olive oil looks okay. Checking now the agricultural stuff. Okay, so they do have enough oats for all that porridge. There's presumably enough wheat. There's no lavender, which again, we know you can't get on this island. They don't have olives. I actually don't think they have fertility for it. So I was wondering how they were getting olive oil. That has to be coming in too. Sheep, pigs, hemp, all good. Resin also not produced here. Maybe what we could do, just so it's set and forget, I'm wondering if it's like actually financially reasonable to just at this point, given the money that we have, like just maintain a stock here of, I don't know, just something small, 50. Because it seems like they have the olive oil makers, the presses. So if we just purchase a small amount, we could do the same thing, right? With lavender and with resin, right? Then I think they'd be able to produce all of that without having to set up those productions on other islands because, again, the fertilities are not here on this island. Let's see. I have no idea if that's like fiscally viable or not.
Perhaps this way we shall
But
remain on good.
we'll find out. Hey, things aren't as on fire and he's happy. Okay, and then that's the other thing we said. There's enough wheat, maybe, but maybe not enough flour.
cities is
So
at risk of a
let's
great
come
fire.
back to intermediate goods. Okay, so once this spins up, it should be okay. It looks like 4 and 4 is good here. Same thing with tallow and leather. Great. All right. Well, this is good. I think it means that this island is more or less integrated in here. I think what we will do... Hey, and let's test if this bug actually works now. But let's go to... Where was it? Aqueducts are around here, right? Or at least this is one way to look at it. So, planning mode, mountain slot. Placed before, this would not upgrade. And there it is. Look at that. Patch. 1.3. Hooray. It works. That's good. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into, I don't know, maybe a time lapse, maybe a cut, depends on how long it is. I'm going to build an aqueduct here, mostly just to get rid of this fire safety, but also I think it will be of some value here as well. Plus we have the specialist,
Governor?
assuming that we can extend the range here with a little bit more prestige. So fingers crossed that we can get that all sorted. So I'm going to, is this the festival? Very cute. I'm going to add a sort of minimum viable aqueduct setup here. So I'll be right back. All right, I think we're back. So I just had a bit of it come out like this. We can continue it down this way as well, but we have added fire safety and quite a bit of health to everyone in sort of what I would describe as the rough core of the city. You know what, now that I'm looking at it, I kind of want to get one more down here too, after all. So do that real quick, and we'll just bring this up over here. Then what are we doing with this? Maybe bring it like, I guess what we'll have to do is move this here, road here, here, and then connect like so. Fine. There we go. I think that's good. So we are only using half the water here so far. We have this water extender here. As soon as the prestige expands, this radius will as well. It'll trigger here shortly, and we'll be able to expand this as we need. But we have fixed, more or less, I consider this roughly at 0 compared to where it was at the beginning. Same with happiness, etc., etc., etc. So I think we're in a good spot here. Certainly a good enough spot, because again, all this is really doing for us is generating 2.5K. And some knowledge. It's a good point. It's also generating knowledge and belief for Epona, and a few other things, right? But this is a net positive for us. It doesn't have to serve any other purpose at this point in time. So, pretty cool. We have conquered and integrated the main island of one of our core rivals. Pretty cool. I think we have officially figured out the war system just fine. So, the next thing to do, well, I would say that just from a military perspective, our hands are a little tied diplomatically for now, because if you go to the diplomacy screen here, right, our emperor reputation is barely breaking even. We could, I suppose, declare war on Tarragon again eventually for what, his crappy small little island? Fine, I'm sure we'll do it eventually. Dorian, you know, we could declare on him, I suppose. We still probably won't be able to get very far against Li Shima as long as the Emperor likes her, and we can't stand up to the Emperor. But there is one other diplomatically available war opportunity to us, and that would be to pursue the pirates' home base. Now, a few episodes ago, and in fact apparently it's still technically under siege, we probed the defenses here. I think we needed a lot more ships than we had at the time, but we are getting pretty close to having a lot more ships than we had at the time. So, not this episode, but maybe next, we might take another swing at the pirate. I have no idea if we're actually ready. All I know is we're a lot closer to being ready than we were. Only one way to find out. Let's see how it goes. Place your bets. I am not confident that we'll be able to do the whole thing. I am very curious how far we'll get. And if we need to pull back, we'll do that. If we need to take it slow and chip away, we'll do that. But I think we'll be able to knock him out. Let's see how it goes. Until then, though, have a great rest of your day, and bye-bye.